Luke, R2-D2, C-3PO, and Ben Kenobi finally show up, and Chewbacca's got the Falcon waked up. When the stormtroopers come over, and there's totally this really cool shootout, but they get away in the nick of time. Now, back on the Death Star, we have Darth Vader and Grand Moff Tarkin, and they're totally trying to interrogate Princess Leia about the Death Star plans and where the rebel base is. So they eventually bring her up to the control center, and they're like, do you have any idea what we can fucking do? So, you see that over there? That's your home planet, Alderaan. My, what a charming planet. I hear it's great this time of year. So anyway, tell us where the fucking rebel base is or we're gonna blow it up. And Leia's like, what? No, you can't do that, Grand Moff. Show her your shit. So he totally explains to her how they can blow up the station. Leia finally caves in, and she tells him, alright, it's on Dantooine, alright? The rebel base is on Dantooine. And Darth Vader is like, oh, alright, let's go to Dantooine, Grand Moff. And Grand Moff Tarkin's like, let her rip, boys! So Alderaan's totally gone. Alderaan is totally blown out of the sky. Leia is now homeless, and they take her away to jail to interrogate her even further. So, on the way to Alderaan, we tune back to this rabble, and they're all totally trading, and Han is criticizing Ben about traveling with such a young boy, and Luke is playing with like a space piñata and a lightsaber. So they eventually come up to an asteroid field, and they start calling Han incompetent, and he starts to get defensive, and he's like, a computer can't fucking lie, we're in this is where Alderaan's supposed to be, and Obi-Wan's totally that shit's gone, bro. So they get even closer and closer, and they get pulled in, when they realize, oh shit, wait, that's no moon, and they get tractor beamed into the Death Star. So they eventually end up in the belly of the beast itself, and stormtroopers totally are in the hangar, and they start to dock it. When Han Solo devises a clever ruse to get them all on the inside, and beat the shit out of them, tear their clothes off, and come back outside dressed up as stormtroopers. So they totally infiltrate the base, and they confabulate this plan where Ben they'll basically cover the hangar while Ben goes in and disables the tractor beam, because he's a ninja like that. So Ben goes off to do his thing, and they're kind of in the guard station when R2-D2 picks up some chatter from the Death Star, and they find out, oh hey, there's a princess here. We could really use a female cast member. And Han Solo is like, no, fuck that. I like this sausage party right here. And Luke is like, come on, dude, there'll be money. And Han totally gets like a bounty boner, and they take Chewbacca and leave the droids up in the observation comm room, and they go down to the jail cell where they totally wreck shit up. And Luke breaks into Leia's cell, and the first thing she says to a potential rescuer is like, hey, aren't you a little too short to be a stormtrooper? Well, excuse me, princess, aren't you a little too homeless and fat? Oh. So they get her out of there, somehow they decide it's a great idea to jump into the trash bay, where they are confronted by a horrible trash monster which almost drowns Luke, and if that's not bad enough, it starts to compact on them, and their only hope is the talking trash can and slightly homosexual robot. Now, against all odds, these two manage to save him, and they get out, a little wet, covered in stormtrooper feces, but they're alive. So, oh wait, that's not...
You're missing Chewbacca.
There he is. So they manage to get out, and they start to escape. Ben just completely ninjas his way across like a legion of stormtroopers into the tractor beam, turns it off, and then walks out. But his presence totally alerts Darth Vader, who's like, I sense a bitches here. So he totally he totally walks around the station all badass, and he runs into Obi-Wan, and he's like, now the pupil is the master. And they totally start just dicking it out right there in the station. And everybody is running for the Millennium Falcon now, so everybody's on, and Luke decides, oh, whoa, there's a fight going on over there. I should probably check it out. Oh, shit, that's Ben. So Ben and Darth Vader are totally knocking each other's shit around. And Luke is like, Ben, and 1 second, one split fucking second, Ben turns around, looks at him, probably gets a little carpal tunnel and lets his lightsaber slip just a little bit, and Darth Vader totally slices him so hard he vaporizes into midair, leaving only a pile of clothes. So Luke totally loses his shit, decides to go on a kamikaze bonsai charge against Darth Vader before Han Solo kind of slaps his shit around and tells him to get back in the fucking ship. So they get in there, they're pursued by a couple of TIE fighters, and Han makes some weird reference to his dick. And they blow him out of the sky and eventually end up on Yavin 4, the secret location of the Rebel base. Now, Princess Leia, accompanied by R2-D2 and C-3PO, eventually show the Rebel Alliance that the Death Star is in fact not indestructible, but has one weakness, which is an exhaust port right yonder. Now, you could, with the right targeting software, you could apparently shoot a torpedo into it, and the entire thing will go Hiroshima. Now, all the other Rebel pilots are like, dude, that's completely insane and suicidal. And Luke is like, hey, I used to bullseye womp rats in my Skyhopper back in Beggar's Canyon, and everybody's like, what the fuck are you talking about? So they eventually suit everybody up, and like Luke is reunited with some of his friends, such as Biggs and Porkins, who's just a fat bastard. And they get ready for a charge on the Death Star. Now, they go in there, and the Death Star is completely vomiting up TIE fighters. And they're just flying all over the sky, and everybody's getting shot out of shit. And Luke gets in there with his squad, Red One, and they start flying down the Death Star trench. But out of fucking nowhere, Darth Vader comes in with his own squadron and starts blowing Luke's friends out of the sky, like Porkins and Biggs, and they both crash in, and Luke's all alone. And just when everything looks like it's about to go to shit, Han Solo, who abandons them earlier for money, swoops in, shoots the two other bodyguards that Darth Vader had, busts Darth Vader's shit up, and he flies off into the cosmic sphincter of the galaxy, supposedly never to be seen again. So Luke flies down the trench, turns on his tracking software, and then decides, I don't need this. So he flips up, like, probably the $1 million tracking computer that can, like, shoot a torpedo 1,500 miles. Alright, so Luke has, like, a $3 million targeting system inside his fucking X-Wing fighter, and he's flying down the Death Star trench, and he flips it up, and it's, like, it's completely calculating it. It probably could have worked, because he was closer than the other pilot, but, like, you know, Obi-Wan's ghost is like, yo, Luke, use the Force, you totally don't need this machine that makes any sense. And Luke is like, alright. So he flips it up, and everybody at HQ is like, wait, what the hell are you doing, kid? And Luke is like, no, guys, trust me, I got it. And for that moment, everybody in the Rebel Alliance committed almost, they thought of committing suicide, or ritual seppuku, whatever. So Luke flies in there, presses the button, and against all odds, it goes into the bowels of the Death Star, and it completely smashes the goddamn thing off the table. So, now, the Death Star explodes, everybody flies out, there's a huge celebration with, you know, Leia handing out medals, and, like, Han Solo's a hero now because he totally saved Luke's ass, and they parade up there, and, you know, C-3PO and R2-D2 and everybody who didn't die in the attack is totally there to honor them. And Leia gives Luke a medal, and she gives Han a medal and, like, a kiss. Well, she gives both of them a kiss. But Chewbacca doesn't get a medal. You know why? Because he's colored. And that's the end of